Hello, everyone, and welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. Uh, let's take a look at what's happening today. And we have our first. Ooh, hit a sub chaser. Nice. I think that's going to sink. These things can't take more than one torpedo. I may have seen. Well, I have seen a sub take a torpedo and survive. The Gato. Um. And I may have seen a destroyer take a torpedo and survive, but the patrol craft, generally, the PC class stuff, sub chasers, PTs. Well, I don't know if PTs are in that, but anyway, uh, those those smaller boats just don't survive very well. All right, so I'm trying something here. I'm heading into Ponape on purpose with these DMSs for two reasons. One, if there are mines, we can clear them. But two, if I kind of wanted to. I saw he had a sub there, and I kind of wanted to peg it. So we're kind of going a little offensive here with this. But we run out of these things, and for good reason. They don't carry a lot of um, ammunition, but that's okay. We got a hit. We'll carry on. Also, in there we traded. AM's there. Well, we sank a sub chaser. He sank. This is a little. This literally was just for the heck of it. I sent it out to chase this guy away, and it backfired. But um, I was trying to think if there was something I was particularly um, what train I was on. Um, oh, it might help him be curious in his head. Is he coming for Ponape? So that's part of the reason too, is to kind of psychological operation there. Because no, Ponape is not, well, not on the short-term radar. Yep. No rest for Sion. Now, I am sending an aircraft up there. One set of guns are going to Changsha, and one is going to Sion. Hopefully, that makes his bombers go up higher, and we lose less stuff. Yeah, I'm okay with him moving flak into these places, which it looks like he has, and because that means more ammunition spent, which means more supplies spent. So if we can hit supplies like this airbase supply hits too, and he's burning through them, he's gonna have to keep shipping in stuff frequently. All right. Unless my brain is really that bad. I don't think our bombers have run out of Darwin today. But you know what? I'm trying to think if I stood them down. I don't know why I would have. Oh, I think I did to get them a little rest. Anyway, not a big deal. Okay, we're hitting Eniwetok again. Ooh, 14. Wow, this is the best port strike. And look at that, severe storms. This is the best port strike I've ever seen, I think. Feels like. I don't know, these medium bombers can really get in there and do some damage to um, ports and things too, I've seen. I'm starting to get a feel, and this may not be game mechanics. It just may be in my head, but there seems to be strengths. These aircraft seem to have strengths. The dive bombers seem to be good at. Hey, I should test them on port strikes too. They seem to be good at bases, but very bad at troops. The medium bombers seem to be really good at air and port strikes, airfield and port strikes, and the heavy bombers seem to be best at bombing troops, although they do obviously great job at city strikes, or can do. And then they, of course, also do lots of damage on airfields, but not necessarily ports. But there could be other factors too, like altitude and weather, maybe. All those factors may affect some of those various runs. No two runs are going to be identical. All right, what's this? This is just bombardment. Wow, that's a lot of troops from a bombardment. Okay, that's it. We'll wrap up the turn here. Nothing really to talk about, so we'll be jumping right into May 10 here. But let's see, I guess on the way out, let's see if we get any new great reinforcements. Okay, few cargo ships. Ooh, what's that? I'll have to look at that. Wow, got a lot of stuff. Okay, here we are, May 10, 1943. Um, yeah, I wish we had something exciting happening um, today, but I don't think there's going to be anything. I certainly don't have any offensives or moves planned, but anyway. Ooh, nice. All right, we take a hit. I'm not gonna stress about that, whether it was bad or not. Even if it was a direct hit, one isn't gonna be a problem. My anti-aircraft can't get to these Chinese cities fast enough. Um, right now I only have one going to Xi'an, one going to Changsha. I should probably figure out a way to get more over there. I also have supplies flying into Chengdu from Ledo. Mm, not the best raid we've had over here, but it is severe storms. That's not bad for a port strike. Basically, one out of three bombers. No. So each of these carries. Oh, right, they're extended range. So 5 each. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So I'm noticing this trend where he's parking subs in bases at bases he thinks I'm gonna invade, um, which tells me I probably want to start sending in sub chasers, minesweepers, maybe even just straight up destroyers. Anyway, some ASW assets first. One, to check and see if there's mines, but also to see if we can sink some subs so that when we get in there with more precious cargo, don't want to lose any more of those escort carriers, things like that. Maybe we can, clear those bases of enemy subs first. But I'll have to time it just right. Do it like a turn before our forces is gonna arrive, so that because I don't want to telegraph what we're doing. Yeah, these are those P-47s I'm moving to the west coast. So before I get into this too much, just wanted to say I stood down my bombers in the Burma theater because uh, I wanted to give them a day to rest. I might give them even more. But, we had enough damage accumulated on the bases that I'm focusing on there that I figured it would be worthwhile to just have everybody rest. So, in a second, we'll find out how many ops losses we had. But as a result, maybe it's down today, but we'll see. In any case, we'll take a look at this ops report first, like sometimes we do. And I see some sub activity. We've got one enters Tarawa for repairs. We'll have to take a look at what's going on with that. Um, all right. So, five Japanese ships near Johnston Island. I think this was blue, but anyway, I doubt that. Anyway, we got a crashed aircraft. So, man, another one. I mean, well, maybe our ops losses will be just as high as normal. Right here, we've got commandos operating here from Lato now, and 7 of them. That's 10,000 tons a pop. No, so sorry. Uh, 5 tons of supplies a pop. So each of these. So that's 35 supplies added to the stockpile. It's not a lot, but I'm sure every supply is extremely valuable to the Chinese. Um, these LCIs, they want to repair one major damage to, I forget, float maybe, and it's not a big enough deal to send it back to Pearl, but it keeps giving me this notification as a result. Uh, okay, Jack. We saw these upgrades at the end. It's nothing spectacular or nowhere in a primary um, theater. Uh, I mean, not near the front lines, I should specify. Okay, and then we got some repairs good to go. So I think some of these destroyers I was waiting on to finish before we slapped them into our um, battleship group. That is my Central Pacific battleship group. So we'll be able to move them out and be on our way very soon. Um, and then here are these P-47s. They arrived a couple days ago, I think, and we're sending them out so we can get them on the front lines. I, uh, I know they were successful. The P-47s were successful in the European theater. I just don't know yet how they'll be in the Pacific theater. So let's take a look at some casualties here. 6-6. All right. Yeah, he's losing some of these fighters, but we lost 3 of our, okay, expensive or costly losses. I mean, nothing like a fighter or something where we have plenty of them. It's these it's these aircraft that we don't get enough of, it feels like. So that's, man, that's frustrating. It's like in order to build up a stockpile, I gotta shut everything down for like everything. Because I shut half of my um, bombers down and I still lose. I lose probably more bombers than usual. All right, let's take a look. We did fortunately we only lost 1 pilot today, and then ship sunk. All right, we're still not seeing that cruiser or those cruisers. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move around the map here. I don't know how much is to talk about. I can tell you supplies are heading to this base as we speak. All right, and we did a quick run up to Ponape, did a little tiny bit of damage to his sub there, and we're already left. Um, let's see. I wonder. So if I hover over this, it doesn't tell me how much ammo we have left. And but we can take a look here. So we still have full complement in each of these ships. Elliot, you spent theirs, but that's it. Well, it's fine. Also, it might have been made for a good feint, so maybe he thinks we're heading in this direction soon. That's fine if he thinks that. I'll I'll be happy with that. Now, this is making me nervous. I have this strong hunch he has his carriers are here. We just don't see him, but I don't know. We we'll find out soon enough. I am certain of that. All right. Now in this area, um, hmm, we are reinforcing Madang. We've got ships. We're just unloading supplies, but we got transports coming in with aviation support. I want to build this up. It can get up to 7 airfield, and then we can, have even more reach. Wow, this can be 9. I really need to get up here and build this up, not Madang. But Madang being port 2, which would end up being 5, we could drop stuff off and walk up the road to here. I think the ideal position is Hansa Bay, for the for the airfield. And if we put B-24Ds, we can reach barely. But it's probably not ideal to fly from here to Truk anyway. It's probably better to capture Manus and fly from there, or Kavieng, which both are on my radar. Short term radar even. But here's the big operation, which I think I'm going to pull the trigger in soon. That's the best I can give you right now is soon. Um, there's I'm trying to get the Foxhound. How are we doing? Okay, we have plenty of fuel. I'm going to turn this off. We're going to retire the Foxhound. It wants to go away. So we're going to slip it into port. But we don't need to refuel. So we'll just, we'll say do not refuel and auto. You know what? I'm not going to auto disband because I don't want to forget it. We're just going to watch it come back in here. We'll disband it and retire it as soon as it gets there. And this guy should be escorted by enough destroyer escorts, especially considering he doesn't have anything in these waters anymore. Um, and yeah, so our carrier group is ready for action. Um, and I believe I'd like to pull this off. Mm, I don't know, by the end of the month. I'll say that. It might be very soon. Um, I think I'm safe to charge in and do this. I just don't know where his KB is, because if KB is here, I think we're totally safe doing this. But if KB is lurking, uh, you know, I keep getting notifications there's radio activity in this area. So I think it's still here or maybe in this area. But so I think I'm safe to do this. Um, so my goal is to gather my things, my resources that I'm going to use for this operation and just hit it. Okay, up here we rested everybody. I think we can I think we can commence operations again. Uh, I don't remember seeing this bombard, but anyway, I might not. I might have been out of it when the land action was going on. Maybe just cycling through it too quick to pay attention. Supplies are flying in here, very trickling in here, but hopefully it helps these areas, forward areas, because we just don't have a lot in this area. We certainly need more up front here at Sion. I don't. I'm gonna turn this off. Um, because I want it to be a through. I want it to be able to I don't know. I'm just gonna turn it off. There's no reason to stockpile there. Okay, so yeah, looking around here, he still doesn't know we're coming for him here in the north. I don't know what he has here, but I'm guessing it's just some kind of armored, small armored car or something. What I'll probably do, man, this is just at 50% capacity here. Supplies, it's just terrible supply situation in this area. Um, so what I'd like to do is defeat this guy, chase him away or whatever, and then maybe just defend this with a third of a core and bring the rest of them down here because and maybe even threaten Ningxia because I it feels like supply is problematic when you got that many troops up here. I don't know, but but yeah, I've got an aircraft on its way. Gonna position it here and Sion, and hopefully scare away the bombers. We'll see, but it's coming. These might just be, yeah, this is just artillery. This is going to be deployed up into this area. Maybe I'll even push it forward to here somewhere. Maybe I'll even send it up here. Oh, I could send it here and just bombard what he's got here. Um, but but here's my AA coming to an aircraft. Um, but I'd like to look into getting more over here. I'll see what I can do. I do have lots of aircraft in this theater. Well, I could ramble on and on, although it would be more and more meaningless as I go. But I guess I can point out something. So we've got this position here, which we've talked about before. So supplies have to. Oh shoot! You know what I might do? I might position these guys here. Because one of the things I'm thinking is it can just go up across this mountain, right? It can go and it'll be slower and more expensive to use. But if I occupy this X, then supplies can then just cross this river. I don't think it makes much of a difference. So I'll just stay there. Supplies might be more and more challenging depending on what I'm able to accomplish in this area. But yeah, we're sending guerrillas out here. We've got some cavalry coming. Like I say, I'm pretty sure we talked about this recently. But yeah, that's happening, and we got even more on the way to spread out and cause mischief. Now, as soon as I enter here, he may, I don't know what he has back here, but he may spot me as soon as I enter this X. But certainly, even if he doesn't have anything around, as soon as I enter this one, I'm sure I think either way I go, he's gonna spot me. So the best thing I can do is stay on the road and just keep walking east, get in here, and he'll probably chase me around, and that's okay. Uh, and get in here. Um, I don't know, but the point is, we can start causing him a little bit of mischief. Hopefully, cross your fingers. I would love to. Uh, I would love to take when I put a guy here, take the other corps, the other regiment, B or C, and try to come up here and see if he has any troops here. If he has nothing here, I might just capture that. That blocks this. It also deprives him from these resources in industry. Um, and yeah, maybe just be a general nuisance. And then his rail has to go up, supplies have to go up here and around, and then I'll get these Chinese troops here, and then he'll have to get supplies to off road. or on road anyway. Maybe have guys here and here, and then all this area will be cut off. It'll get supply, but it'll trickle in some of these back, off road. Well, anyway, I can't think of anything imminent that I need to speak about, so I'll just end it there. We'll come back tomorrow, the 11th, and talk about that turn, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, again, I'll keep you in the loop when I'm ready to pull the trigger on some of these offensives, and I want to get into a position where I can do multiple invasions, back to back as quickly as possible. Kind of like I did in the South Pacific. When I did these invasions here, it was like boom, boom, and then when I hit this, it was like boom, boom, boom. I hit these kind of relative, maybe it was very slow, but for me, relatively quickly, back to back all the way up here. And surprisingly also under the threat that KB could arrive anytime. But but as that goes, some of these are harder to defend, and I mean harder for me to defend the idea of just hitting these quickly because we're closer and closer to his major base where he can retaliate. And the same goes for some of these bases. Now back here, I think we're relatively safe hitting these bases. We'll find out soon enough though, so I guess that's a thing. Man, he could have built these bases up, put up some um not cap, some kind of seaplanes. Um, I don't know. He could still do it with zero. He could bring in tenders. I don't know. But here we go. Let's see how it goes. We'll take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.